Hello everyone, Pallytub here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. Very different video for you today. I'm gonna ask the most popular question that I've ever been asked in my entire life. Did I say answer or ask the question? I'm gonna answer the question. What is this? What is this red thing that you guys always see in my videos? You ever notice this? Do you know what it is? If you do, consider yourself lucky. It seems like you're in a special little league. You're in a league of knowing what the red arrows are. Essentially, what the red arrows are is the attack move command. Why would I do this? Why is this important? Why wouldn't I just right-click on the enemy and attack them? Well, because the attack move command allows you to get a ton more damage out on the battlefield as you're moving. This is important. Now, attack move by itself, all it does is attack the first enemy you come into contact with in range. So, here. Hey, there's a dummy! We're gonna hit it! You know, it does that. What we want it to do is deal damage as we're moving around without losing DPS. So how do you do that? Well, let's do an exercise, okay? Let's do an exercise. Everyone, close your eyes and just listen to the tempo of our auto attack. There's a very good reason I'm on Sergeant Hammer, because it's a very slow tempo. Here we go. Eyes closed. We're learning here, okay? Actually, open your eyes again. Hold on. I'm gonna get rid of these guys so there's no distractions, because I don't need the sound of leaves and shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Then go sit in the spawn. All right, eyes closed and listen to the soothing sounds of tank gunfire. All right, you got that? Now we want to maintain this tempo as we're moving around. You can open your eyes. The magic is real. We're keeping the beat. And we're moving. Effectively, we're not losing any DPS at all. And we're able to move our character around. Rock and roll, indeed. So, again, there's a reason I picked Sergeant Hammer. Very, very slow auto attack, so it's easy to move in between. Also, you kind of get a range indicator, so I know I can hit someone here and not here. Just because I played Sergeant Hammer before, like I understand like where her kind of range cuts off with the circle. So if you ever want to get better at this, then do it. So when would you actually use this? Let's say you're in this part of the lane and someone's coming up behind you and you want to get back to safety. Well, this allows you to kind of skirt around them. You know, you could use your abilities in here too and get a lot of damage in. Where if you're not using this method, this is what it would look like. Oh no, please don't kill me. I'm no threat to you, mister, I promise. You're a lot more threatening when you're shooting a cannon at him, you know? There are multiple ways to do this. I prefer the attack move one, but if I'm advancing towards someone and they're moving into a minion wave, oftentimes I will just do the click method. And it is important to keep that tempo. You have to memorize the tempo of your auto attacks. It's very important, because if you mess it up, like if you move too much, you will mess it up. So you can move towards someone and just click, and then click the ground around them, and deal a lot of damage advancing at someone. Again, this is particularly there we go, useful inside minion waves if you're trying to deal damage to a specific target and also move at the same time, because attack move, of course, would just kind of hit the first thing closest to your character. So the clicking method is useful in there, but it's also a lot more likely to be messed up. So why would you need to do this other than the point I already made? It's fantastic high damage that you should do, especially if you're playing assassins. But also, it has some great uses with other characters. So we're going to take the same stutter step, marine micro, attack move, whatever the fuck you want to call it, mentality, and apply it to a melee character this time. We're going to be using Arthas, and we're going to set our level up to something high, and we're going to go for increased damage on that. Consecutive basic attacks to prove the point. And then... Isn't there slow on this shit? There we go. There we go. All right. So our goal is to keep our E up as much as possible on Arthas. and also keep good positioning here. So you can see as he's moving forward, I'm doing the click method. We're dealing increased damage on him. We've dealt a ton of extra damage to Arthas here as he's running away. And we got a kill in a scenario where if we were just walking, this is important to prove too, so we'll refresh the forts and get these guys to come out again. If we were just walking behind Arthas, our character would just stop, swing, and then there would be a recovery time before our character stopped moving. So you saw what stutter stepping looked like after Arthas. This is what walking looks like. Yeah, we're doing fine damage here. Yeah, we're doing it. We're living the dream. Once he starts to run away, though, you'll notice that this gap in between us just keeps increasing. And now I can't actually catch back up to him very easily, and he's gonna get away. Again, this is what it looks like if you're stutter stepping. It allows you to do small, tiny, little repositions that allow you to get more damage out of your character. Murky's actually gonna be a fantastic example of this. Because he gets an increasing slow as he moves, but I can reposition, I can get in front of Arthas, I can stay in front of Arthas and stop him from leaving. You see what I'm saying? It's really good. It's really good, and you should know how to do it. It's really important. And a lot of people understand the mechanics of like which characters are good against which other characters, but a lot of people are not implementing the stutter stepping, the marine microing, the attack moving, the whatever you want to call it. There's a million different names. They're not fully utilizing just micro movements in between your auto attacks, which is really useful, extremely useful. I easily could have killed him there. Let's just hit him with a Syndragosa. And again, if you want to get good at this, first of all, it's going to take a lot of practice. This is going to be an uphill battle. I'm still not very good at it, especially when I'm commentating a video. It becomes so much more difficult. So this is something I do a ton when I'm just purely focused on the game, but it drops off as I'm also trying to communicate a million things in a video. But again, just walk up to a dummy, close your eyes, keep this cadence. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eyes open. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and easy, team. It's nice and easy. Now, once you get really good at it, you can do stuff like this. I just realized that this isn't actually necessarily related, but it sure does look fun, doesn't it? I mean, once you get used to just having a tempo to your movements, you can get used to weaving auto attacks in a lot easier as well. So you could do massive amounts of bursts like this fairly easily. You know what I'm saying? With follow-through stuff. I can do better, by the way. Let's do better. Pretty sure I can get like 5,500 out. Here we go, here we go. Yeah, there we go. So if you want to get better at like weaving auto attacks like that, the first step is just to know the tempo of your character. Every character is different, by the way. Every character has different attack speeds. So get used to the tempo of your character. Get used to maintaining the beat, as it were. And then being able to time things. I mean, I probably shouldn't have Wind Fury. But get used to the beat. And get used to timing movements and abilities in between that beat. And this has been your lesson in stutter stepping today. Now, to show some outliers here, there are some characters that are extremely difficult to stutter step with. I'll go ahead and show you two of them real quick. The first one being Karazim. He does have a 2.0 attack speed as a melee character, which is crazy, by the way. Really high. So you have to kind of work around that. He also does the, like, if you go for the main dash build, it becomes even harder to micro stuff. But then again, you also don't have follow through here. So, I mean, that's a thing, but, okay. There's a lot of extra sound here as well, so it's harder to get into, but 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You see what I'm saying? Difficult to do. Difficult to get the most out of on a very fast attacking character. You're basically fucking clicking like crazy. It's a lot. It's a lot. But if you can master that, if you can master the tempo, you can also get a fuck ton of damage in on a target as Karazim just because he's so fast. So Thrall basically doesn't have a chance in hell, or excuse me, Arthas shouldn't really have a chance in hell of getting away from a good Karazim. Unless he lands some good roots. Another character that is... Well, also, keep in mind that Tychus is very difficult to do this with because Tychus just kind of always attacks, and there's no clear attack animation. Same thing kind of goes with Zarya. But a character that I play a lot that can be rather difficult to do this with, and it takes a lot of practice, is Zul'jin if you go for the auto attack build, because there's so many factors that kind of come into play with this. Because you have, I mean, this is the standard build, right? You want the axe, let the killing begin. Already you're increasing your attack speed in ways that you haven't really done before. So this is your tempo normally. Here, let's turn these guys off. All right, so this is the tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You count to 5 because he has a thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if we actually use our talent that we picked up at level 4, all of a sudden that's going to become a lot faster because we have just a base attack damage increase here from killing 5 minions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot faster, which means you have to react a lot faster if you're trying to get the most DPS when you're moving. Keep in mind, it also means you're not going to be moving as far because you're going to have to stop significantly more often. But still, it's a lot of damage. The other thing about Zul'jin is as his health gets lower, obviously this tempo is going to increase even more. We'll again go for the pretty standard build and sacrifice a little bit of health. So the tempo just keeps increasing. And it can become extremely difficult to actually move around in a meaningful way to actually gain ground or get away from an enemy hero as your attack speed becomes this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I can't even tell if I'm doing it right. It looks like I am. But keep in mind that there are certain characters that have a much harder time doing this, and Zul'jin is kind of one of them. At this rate, there is no way that you'll be able to maintain this damage and move at the same time, because animations just would hinder it. So the tempo is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. I can't anyway. I can't maintain that. So just keep that in mind as well. I think I pretty much talked about everything I can think of. If you guys have anything you want to add to this, maybe we can add it in an upcoming video. But I just wanted to make this because it's a question I get asked a lot, and it's actually really important to gameplay. And the more people that know this, then the more interesting matches become, because people are actually playing their characters to their full extent. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. Again, I know it was really different, but I actually really enjoyed making it. It was actually quite, I don't know, nice change of pace. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time. Okay, bye.